Second will suffice. Just as one trunk suffices, I suppose. Don't forget that Francis has to travel by mule for a few 100 miles to Bogota, I said. He can't take too much luggage. Here we are, said Francis, as we reached a carriage marked second class. The letters LNWR, denoting London and North Western Railway, were etched onto the side in gold. I felt a lump in my throat as he opened the carriage door. Eliza suddenly embraced him, and he took a step back, his eyebrows raised in surprise. "Good luck, Francis," she said. "You must write to us as often as you can. We'll be thinking of you every day, won't we, Penelope?" I nodded fervently. "We will." Francis brushed his sandy fringe away from his spectacles and turned to face me. "Goodbye, Penny." I could barely hear him above the noise of the station. "I'll accompany you into the carriage," I replied. I didn't feel ready to say goodbye. I was struggling to believe that it would be many months before we saw him again. "Careful, Penelope! You don't want the train running away with you," warned Eliza. Francis moved aside as I lifted my skirts and stepped into the quiet compartment, sitting down on one of the blue carpet seats. He closed the door behind him so that we could hear each other more clearly. Then he removed his bowler hat and placed it on the luggage rack above my head. "I hope you have a comfortable journey," I said, "and I hope all your travelling companions are agreeable. You will write to us, as Eliza asked, won't you? Please do send word to us once you have arrived in Colombia, or perhaps you could send a letter from one of the stops along the way." "Of course I will." He gave a quiet laugh. "What's funny?" "If only you had been this interested in hearing from me before I made the decision to leave." I paused, surprised by the candidness of his comment. "I have always been interested in you, Francis." "Not quite interested enough, though." He smiled. "Never mind, there is nothing more to be said on the matter." The train guard's whistle sounded, and Eliza hammered on the window. "Please be careful, Francis," I said, rising to my feet. "Colombia is a dangerous place, and crossing the Atlantic Ocean is also hazardous." "I shall be fine." "And good luck. I hope you manage to find Father." "I shall do my best, Penny." I embraced him, but my movement was so impulsive that I pinned both his arms down by his side. There had once been an opportunity for me to marry Francis, but the chance had now passed. Had it been a mistake to turn away a man who loved me? The train hooted its whistle. We separated, and I adjusted my spectacles as I felt a tear roll down my cheek. "You need to disembark," said Francis. "You don't want to end up coming with me." I didn't rush toward the door. Indeed, I quite liked the thought of accompanying him. An adventure in South America sounded rather appealing. Besides, what was left for me in London? The man I loved, Inspector James Blakely, was to marry his fiancée, Charlotte, in a little under 4 weeks. I wasn't sure how I would cope with it when the day came. "Please write," I said again. "I've told you I will. Now get off the train." He laughed. The carriage gave a jolt. I glanced out of the window and saw that the train was beginning to move. Eliza was marching along beside the window with an alarmed expression on her face and wildly gesticulating arms. I flung the door open and readied myself to step out onto the platform, which was beginning to flash past with increasing rapidity. "Careful, Penny," said Francis. "Goodbye," I said tearfully and hopped out, stumbling as my feet connected with the platform. I recovered myself and managed to slam the door shut just in time. Eliza and I held on to our hats as we jogged alongside the train.